Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing 7 Ages. On the last turn lots of empires disappeared. The Empire of the Chu, an example, as the mightiest one for a long time, but now it's gone. And the Minoans, the Incas. So there's lots of free space now on the board that wants to be filled, and some players want to start some new empires. So let's see what happens this turn. Okay, yellow player goes first, and he will right away start an empire. He has to take the darker yellow counters. No, that's not true actually. He can choose a counter mix because the Japanese and the Polynesians are already on the board. So he can choose another counter mix. So he might actually think about taking the black counter mix, which is pretty powerful. And I think he's going to do that. He's going to play Germans, the Germans. They start in the Black Forest, which would be here, underneath this guy. Ages 3 to 7, setup -5, that brings them 1, 2, 3 in the Dark Ages, sadly. But anyway, I think they're doing quite well. Money 5 times the age. So that would be 20, because we are in age 4 now. That's not bad. Trade -1. Okay, great. Special, convert francs in starting area. 1 free maneuver after setup. Add +2 to the frontline value of active tanks. Well, we definitely won't see any tanks now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is our starting army. We have to pay all 20 to finance these troops. 3 sword, 2 catapults, and 2 knights. We start here in a Dark Age. And we have to face a light cavalry at the beginning. Shouldn't be such a big deal. So we have here, just let me see. Let's do it this way. It's a forest, so there's a -1 penalty for cavalry. So we have 12 plus 5, that's 17, 27, 31. And then let's draw a card. Okay, that's pretty awesome. That's a 37. And the Romans, they have a 3. So that gives them a 5. So we have a battle without any losses for the Germans here. That allows them to place the capital in the Black Forest, and we can also place our units then here. And then we got a free maneuver after setup. And well, actually I'm not sure. I think I don't want to attack the Romans right away. I don't see any reason for that, I guess. I mean, I cannot destroy their empire or something. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some interesting areas here. Just wonder where to go. Maybe these guys here. And these guys here to Germany. Now we got that knight. Let me see, we can move maybe with another one to Austria, with a knight to Hungary, which is pretty fertile. And I guess I keep a knight and a catapult in the Black Forest. Although I think it's pretty unlikely that I'll be attacked by the Romans. And the catapult, I guess it's going to move to Poland. Okay. So that was the free maneuver action for the Germans. And this is it then. And then we're going to see another Start Empire action by the gray player. And he can also choose a counter set, because his two gray counter sets are already in play. He's going to play the... Well, I'm thinking about either playing the Norwegians. They would obviously start here in Norway. They want to be big in the sea, basically. Could also start the Dutch, but I'm not sure this is such a great idea for now. I think I kind of prefer the Norwegians. One, two, three, four. So they start here. Okay, they've spent 14 bucks, and their initial ships cost only 3, so they can start with a lot of ships right away here in Norway. I was actually considering to change my plans and playing the Dutch, because the Dutch are really a interesting civilization. But the point is, I don't want to compete against the Vietnamese when it comes to the richest civilizations of the world. So, but it's tempting to play these guys. Still, I think in a way the Norwegians are also interesting for now. And then we're going to see another empire starting by the pink player. And he will actually play the Armenians in Armenia, obviously, right here. If you ask yourself why the red player doesn't start an empire while he is only controlling 2, the idea was for him to start the Arabs. And they can do... wait a second. Was it the Arabs? No, it was the Ottomans, exactly. And he gets 2 free maneuver after setup in h4. But the problem for him is he would have to move back 3 steps. So he would start in h3. But if he waits one more turn, he would have been able to start in h4 and get these 2 free maneuver actions. So that is pretty good idea. But now, as the Armenians show up here, it's questionable if it makes sense to play the Ottomans. But okay, we'll see about that. Money 15. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, actually, before I do this, I forgot one thing, and I will do it now because I kept this card just in case someone next to the Romans will show up. I will play that card, and it's going to be the shooting star. I know it's not... it's damn late to do this now. No, I'm not going to do this now. Maybe I still can do it in a later turn, I guess. Yeah, wasn't the best idea. I think I'll do it. Even though that starting battle occurred, I think I will allow that. He can't play the shooting star, and Germany is discarded. We're still in the start empire phase, and I simply forgot that, so I think I will allow that to happen. He wants to protect Rome, and that's why he kept this card all time. And it's so simple to forget these kind of things if you play that solitaire. So I think it's just fair to say, okay, he plays that card. Okay, so this is the army of the Armenians. We got 3 swordsmen and 2 knights. Not terribly impressive, but it's also not so bad. And in this area right now, there is no real enemy. Okay, here we are. Okay, that's then the end of the start empire phase. And now we're going to see the production phase, and the Polynesians. They will do a production right away. I actually thought about discarding them, because it's going to be pretty impossible with a trade value of -2 for them to get through the Dark Ages. Then I thought, well, right now I'm one of the most glorious civilizations in the world. I generate 5 glory points. So even in a dark age, I still would generate 3 glory points, which is perfectly fine. So I think I will hold on to them until they come to a point where they would only generate maybe 2 glory points or so, and then it's time to let them go. But for now, I think they're doing perfectly good. So they're going to do a production action, and well, we're going to see now 4, that doesn't count, and that's 10, 13, half is 7, so they gain, well, let's see, $7, that gives them 9. And I think for now they're only gonna buy a ship. Yeah. So they are back at 4. Yeah, fine. The problem is, if they don't manage to do the trading, they will be at the end of their counters when it comes to ships, because they cannot build these ships of the line. They can only build galleys. So I got my doubts that they will be that they will have the biggest fleet forever. but hey, at least something. So they're going to place that counter here, and that was then their action. Let's see if we got another production somewhere. Yeah, the Vietnamese, they will do a production action too. So they have an income of 2, 7, and that's 10. They got to pay in maintenance of 3, so they gain $7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are at 8. Fine. Okay, maybe I should not spend everything. I get money, or I get glory points for being rich, but on the other hand, I would also gain glory points for being the third in Asia. So I could think about that. And right now, the Zimbabweans, they have actually the most money, so it's not going to be easy to be that rich at the moment anyway. Let's see about that. Okay, I purchased these units here, and I'm going to place them here. I can only produce 3 units anyway, so here we go. And that's then the end of the production phase. Then trade in progress. The Japanese, they want to get out of that dark age here, so they can enter age 4. So they definitely want to do a trade with the Koreans. The Koreans have a trade modifier of 0. The Japanese have also a trade modifier of 0. Okay. So problem is now the Japanese, they also wanted to start another empire. So I guess they're going to start the Spanish next. So they don't want to trade with this amazingly cool card, which is a little sad. Instead, they're going to throw in the 5 here. Yeah. And now the question is, the Korean player, he basically wanted to discard that empire, because his idea was that it's going to be pretty hard for them to move through the Dark Ages with 2 empires, the Satavahana and the Koreans. And he better wants to hold on to the Satavahana than to the Koreans. So we're going to ask ourselves if it makes sense to throw away a good card basically for nothing. Maybe we should throw in a pretty crappy card somewhere. I just wonder which one it could be. Or the Tamils. On the other hand, if I play the Tamils, if I throw them away, I might give another player the option to actually start an empire in India. And that's something I don't want, because I control the Satavahana and I want them without any trouble there. Same with the Sinhalese. So that's kind of interesting. I think I might actually throw away either the Zulus, but I want to keep them because of that enlightenment thing. So I'm gonna play the modern state, which is also a 5. So it's kind of interesting. Now let's draw the 2 cards. First for the Japanese. Okay, that would be a 4 then as an average, so that's a 9. And then for the Koreans, that's a 3. So that means it was pretty close, but the Japanese actually managed to win that trade. And that allows them to move up to 2 spaces ahead. So they are now here and can also build the ships of the line. Then we got Zimbabwe. So again, there is nobody they can trade with. So they might simply now play a card. And I got now the problem. I got here I got basically 2 really good cards. I got the Ottomans or the Arabs. But both are candidates that I might play now. But maybe it's not the best idea to play the Arabs, the Ottomans, right next to Cappadocia. So I guess I keep the Arabs for now, and I'm gonna play the Ottomans, and I'm gonna trade with the deck here. On the other hand, because I only have to trade with the deck, could be also an interesting option to go a little risk, because I also want to trade with the Romans. So maybe I should keep that card for the Romans, and I'm going to play that one instead, the 4, and I hope that the deck doesn't have such a good card. That sucks. Okay, they come with a 5, so that means I get that 5. This card is discarded instead. No success here for the Zimbabweans. Bad luck. Yeah, they have a trade modifier of -1 in addition, but okay. And then I'm going to play that wild card, and because I got democracy, my house rule says you don't lose a glory point if you play a wild card and do the same thing as you did with another one of your empires. So I can do a trade in progress action now with the Romans, and I actually have to trade. I think I might also trade with the Armenians or with the Norwegians. I can choose. Let's see, the Armenians, they have a trade -1. The Norwegians have a trade +0. So I guess I'm going to trade with the Armenians here. And this time I'm going to play that card here with the Ottomans because I want to get out of this Dark Age. I got a +0 modifier here. No, I got a +1 modifier actually with the Romans. Neat. So what about the Armenians? Well, how badly do they want to win that trade? They are here. So if they would win against the Romans, they could have moved ahead 3 spaces because the Romans are more advanced. So that means they definitely want to win that trade. Question is, who are they going to play? What are they going to play? Latin America, no doubt here. Okay. So that's also a 6. Let's see. The Ottomans go first. That's not that great. Oh, that's the Romans. So they have a 2. That's 8 and a 9 then, because they have a +1 modifier. And then the Armenians. That's also bad. So that would be also 8. And because of their -1 modifier, it's also a 7. Only a 7. So bad luck here for the Armenians. And that means that this one goes to the Romans, and that card here goes to the Armenians now. And the Romans will move on 2 spaces, and that's pretty cool. One of these ancient civilizations, ancient empires now actually made it through the Middle Ages, and you really got to respect that. But there is now a point here. The Great Wall, I'm not sure this stays. Yeah, 2 to 4. The Great Wall stays in the Alps. But I think the pyramid, yeah, that is destroyed. That only goes from H1 to H3. So they lose that pyramid. So if you see it that way, it could be actually an advantage for them only to move 1 space ahead. They can decide if they want to do that or not. And maybe they want to do that, so they can hold on longer to this artifact, the Great Wall. And remember, they gain points for artifacts. So I think they're gonna move only 1 space ahead. You can choose, you have to move 1 space, but you can then choose if you want to move another one or not if you win a trade. So, more trade and progress by the Satavahana. They are back here, so they also have to go a long way. They got a trade modifier of -1. And I think the only civilization they are in H2. So the only civilization they can actually trade with are the Vietnamese, because they are 2 spaces away. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to try a free state here again. What about the Vietnamese? Well, they don't exactly want to win that trade. They are doing fine there. So they might actually play this crappy card here. Yeah, the Phoenicians. Get rid of that and instead try to get a good one. Okay, so that's what we do. Okay, so that means now that the Satavahana, they will win this trade action. And because the Vietnamese were actually more advanced, the Satavahana are allowed to move now 3 spaces ahead. So they would end up here, but they can also decide only to move 2 spaces, and that's what they will do, because then they will gain full glory points at the end of the turn, because they will move 1 space ahead during the progress step. Okay. So that's the end of the trade and progress phase, and we come to the maneuver phase now. What's happening? The Huns are going to do a maneuver action. Well, they want to be big in the world, obviously. So what we're going to do with them is we simply expand and move, well, basically, maybe one step here, and yeah, one here. I think that should be possible. We have a modifier of 2 for mountains. Yeah, so they can just move here. It's possible. And, well, I guess we're going to move here. Well, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. And another maneuver action. The Plains Americans. So they're going to try to do this conflict. If they win that, they gain 1 glory point. So they're going to try to attack here the Aztecs and, well, once and forever drive them out of North America, probably. But it's not going to be that simple. So first, they can move these, and then that's them, and there. Yeah, we can move 1 here, and this can move 2 spaces. So we have a pretty strong army there. And they are definitely not that great. But they have a card. They could play the barrage card. Play on an empire during conflict resolution. Double the support value of its missile units for the remainder of this conflict. That's not so bad. So that is going to be close at least. Still, it's going to be pretty hard to win. Okay, so overall we have here, well, because they crossed a river, if 1 unit crosses a river, there is this defense modifier of -1 then. So that we have here that's a 12, and that's a, well, that's 37 then. Is that so? No, that's not true. Well, yeah, actually it is. No, it's 27. Yeah. Okay, that's 27. -1 is 26. I got a 6 plus 16 because this is doubled. So that's only 22, so the chances are not that great. 26, the attacker. Well, actually, technically it's a 27 against a 23. So, because it's a +1 defense modifier. So the attacker, whoa, the attacker only draws a 0. Well, that sucked. Now there is a chance. That would be amazing. So we have still 27, and now the defender. That's indeed enough to win. That is a 28. So that is a victory. But it comes for a price, and it's still absolutely not sure if they can live there for a long time. They have well, they have to give away. They have to lose all but one unit. And the Plains Americans, they lose all their 6 units. Still, it's going to be pretty hard because, I mean, they can simply produce again and then attack a second time. So overall, I think maybe it's the best idea to discard the Aztecs on the long turn, but I'm not absolutely sure about that. Okay, the end of the maneuver phase. Will we see a destiny action? I don't think so. Nope. Civilize action. Well, yeah, not much, but here the Aztecs, they are going to do a civilize action. And, well, I'm not sure if it really helps, but I decided to do one. So they could play an artifact or event it's hard to say. The forum, well, at least that would bring a. On the other hand, they could play the volcano. Choose a mountain area, destroy all units in that area and move the empire back 1 progress. Wow. That would be it, huh? That's tempting. I think I want to do that. No, obviously not, because it is the same player, so that's something we definitely don't want to do. We don't want to destroy all these guys. Well, who else could we destroy then? Well, there is no real threat to me. We could destroy the Norwegians, for example. A volcano in Norway? Why not? Kind of fun. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And actually, the gray player is still ahead, so that's definitely the guy we want to slow down. So yeah, destroy all units in that area and move the empire back 1 progress. So here we go. That empire is definitely destroyed. A neutral city stays there. But the Norwegians are gone. Pretty painful, but that's life. Okay, let's see, anything else he wants to play? I don't think so, actually. So what he does then is promote a leader. So the Aztecs are in H3. They can control up to 2 leaders. So let's hope for something good here. That's an artist. That's not exactly what we need now in our situation. So let's draw another one. Well, that's a tactician. That one might be more interesting, actually. So well, okay. I mean, we gotta ask ourselves if it makes really sense to try to hold on to this area here. I'm really not sure. I simply don't know. It's tempting. So I think I want to do it. I place the tactician in here. And then I can urbanize. So I gain now a lot of income out of this area and also a little more from the other one. Okay. So that was the action then of the civilized action of the Aztec player, and we don't see any. Yeah, we actually do see another civilized action here, and I should have played that before. I just missed it because it was just laying here on the table and not on an empire. So all he can actually do is he can play only event cards and or artifacts. He doesn't have many good artifacts, but what he wants to play is the Uprising here. Draw up to 4 cards one at a time. To pick the second, third or fourth card, you must first discard the previous one. You must keep the last card. Target empire does the same up to its leader value. Reveal cards. If yours is higher, put twice as many disorder markers as the difference into the target empire, 1 per land area. If equal, put 1 disorder there. Okay. So the red player did that. So maybe let's see what is an interesting target here. I find it hard to decide on whom to play this card. You know, green and yellow are pretty far behind. So, I mean, obvious targets would be the Huns or maybe the Satavahana, but I don't know. I mean, as I said, the green player is not doing that great. So gray player is ahead. Maybe the Vietnamese would be an interesting target here. I think I'm going to play it on the Vietnamese. So the Vietnamese have a leader value of... Oh, they have a leader value of 3. Well, that sucks. The Satavahana on the other side have Buddhism, so have the Vietnamese. So that makes it even easier for them to get rid of disorder. Ah, damn it. Oh boy, where should I play this? Maybe on the Huns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I have no idea where to play that card. Okay, I guess I'm going to play it on the Huns then. It's not a great card, but maybe that's not so bad. It's hard to get rid of disorder if you control mountain areas. So maybe that is an idea. The Huns have a leader value of 2. So let's see. Let's draw the first card. Well, that's a 0. That sucks. Oh boy. Oh man, this is so bad. Okay, a 4. And the Huns can draw 2 cards. That's a 3. Now it's an interesting question. They can keep that 3 and say, okay, I accept 1 disorder marker. Or they could try to say, I want to have a better card. I want to have a 4. Or actually a 5 or 6, 7. It's hard to say. I think I'm going to keep that one. Could be worse. So I think I'm going to take one disorder marker. And that's it then. It's not so bad. So, and he's going to place that disorder marker here. And this is it then. Actually, it's twice. That's true. Twice as the difference is. So then the Huns will actually continue and draw another one. So we have a 4. Oh, wow, that was bad. That was risky. And they lost. Well, okay. So that means you can play 8 disorder markers. That's probably then the end of the Huns. Do they have anything that will help them? Not exactly. That was painful. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's every region. Okay. So that was indeed a horrible decision. The Huns had now this uprising and they're going to be discarded. Their empire won't survive that. I think that's for sure. Okay, so that was then the end of the civilize action. And finally we come to the discard empire action. So that means the Koreans... Yeah, they're gonna go away, I guess. Let's see, before I do that, I don't want to make a stupid mistake, but I think it's okay. Yeah. So the Koreans, they will be discarded. I don't want to trade these guys through the Middle Ages. This is simply too hard. So they go away, and I think their city will stay here for now. Okay, so this is it. Okay. Then it's the Melanesians. They're also going to go away. Same problem, they are in a dark age, and it's very unlikely that become one of the biggest civilizations in the world. And with Australia and their homeland alone, it's simply not worth doing all the trading actions. So they go away too. And this is it then. I really wonder, I think I made a mistake. I think I forgot the Japanese. There is nothing placed here, but I think I didn't do anything with them. But I don't remember anymore. I know I did a production action with the Polynesians. I think, yeah, it's too late now. It's simply too late now. Whatever. They just made a mistake. They overslept that turn. This can happen. Oh no, they did this trade action, exactly. They did the trade action with the Koreans, I remember now. Fine, yeah, exactly. That's what brought them out of the Dark Age. Okay, so that was now the discard empire action. And finally, we can move on here. We see the first cannons controlled by the Vietnamese and the Huns, but that won't help the Huns, that's for sure. There's only chaos there. Okay, let's do the glory step now. Japanese, one for the home country. Are they second in the world? Well, on the seafaring nations, they might be. Actually, they are. Number 1 is Polynesia. Number 2 are the Japanese. So that gives them another point. What about the money? No way here. Yeah. So that's it. Simply 2 points for the Japanese. That is still not that amazing. But there is potential here. The Polynesians, yeah, they are biggest in the world and have the biggest fleet. So that means they gain 5 points, but 3 points because they are stuck in that Dark Age. 2, 3. Not that great. The Romans, well, they are now in the Renaissance and they are still rocking. Homeland, Europe, and most artifacts. That means 6 points for the Romans. Impressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Red is coming closer. Zimbabweans, they are in a Dark Age. But still 2 points for them. The Satavahana, okay. Homeland, India, and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So they control 10 regions. What about the Romans? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Romans also control 10 regions. So that means that, by the way, the Satavahana, they entered a new age. So that means that their scientist dies, which is sad, but a simple fact. Okay. And, well, let's see. So that's only 1 point for the world, so 3 points for the Satavahana overall. Okay. The Huns, oh, they suck. No points for the Huns. The Plains Americans, well, they are biggest in America, but they still don't control their homeland. That's controlled by the Aztecs. So that means they would gain 2 glory points for America. -1 for not controlling the home area, that's only 1. Then a Dark Age, but still 1 point for them. But they are now at the point where we also have to consider discarding them. I mean, it doesn't make too much sense anymore. The Vietnamese, well, let's see. They control their homeland, Southeast Asia. That's 2. What about Asia? That's now the question. Well, number 1 in Asia is definitely the Satavahana. Number 2 in Asia is Japan. Now the question is, what about these guys here? Okay, this one is part of Southeast Asia. So these three areas are definitely part of Asia, and so are the Solomons. So they control 4 areas. Yeah, so they are not third in Asia. That means they only generate 2 points. And then the pink player, the Armenians. Well, 1 for their homeland. This is it. And the Aztecs, 1 for their homeland. And that's also probably it. I wonder if they gain anything for the cities. Well, maybe. They have 4, the city value of 4. But the Huns, they have a city value of 3 actually. No, it's 4. Yeah. So they have a city value of 4 too. And here we got, of course, the Satavahana with a city value of 6. So no way. They are definitely not among the first 2 empires. So that means 2 for the Aztecs, and because they are in a dark age, I assume, yep, they're here. That's only 1 point for them. So red is catching up massively, and well, some empires are definitely not doing great. Plains Americans, the Aztecs, they are kind of just killing each other. So we really got to think about if we want to hold on to them or not. I don't know yet. It's going to be interesting what alternatives we see here on the cards. Okay. So one thing's for certain, in the next turn we're going to see probably 5 new empires starting. Definitely impressive. The Huns will then go away. Possibly some of these North American guys. So yeah. More interesting stuff coming up. Hope to see you in my next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Until then, bye.